Hello. It's a beautiful, beautiful day out, and hold on. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful day out, and it's actually 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not learning Celsius. I'm just not doing it. I just don't see the point. I want to use my brain power to know information that's important. Knowing Celsius is not important. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you didn't want me to learn Fahrenheit, y'all shouldn't have let the states teach us Fahrenheit. So anyways, this is besides the point. I have these headphones, these ones that I'm using right now. I just bought them, okay? When I bought them, I took out an insurance policy. Now, I've had some trouble taking out insurance policies before. Oh, look, it's a worm. It's like it's aware that I'm there because it literally turned around. Do you think I should move it? Do you think it needs help? Because what if it gets stepped on? Spirit, should I move it or should I leave it alone? Both sides of worms are so alive. I'll just leave it alone. But anyways, I took out an insurance thing. I paid I think an extra $15 or something, or $6. It was something like that, to make sure that if it broke, I could get a new pair. Okay, because these are $29. I didn't think it was gonna break. I even contemplated using it on another pair that I had that had broken. I just like these headphones because I like headphones that plug in. I don't always want to use Bluetooth. But anyways, these headphones are starting to shut down. I'm annoyed, but I'm just thinking, as I do, everything has a significance. So I'm thinking about what is something that we've invested in, that you've invested in time and time again, right? And you recently invested in again for the last motherfucking time, right? And this time when you invested, you took out a little insurance policy. You had something set up to make sure that if it failed you, you would be taken care of, right? Like these headphones. They're failing me. Apple is failing me. I don't know why. I'm about to go to Team Samsung when this phone breaks, but it's such a new phone that I don't feel like I need a new one. But in a few years, when I do, if I do, then I'll be getting Samsung. But anyways, point being, oh God, it's so scary walking in the park because I'm always afraid I'm going to step on an animal. Anyways, there's something about taking out an insurance policy, or there's something about making sure that you've protected yourself, that you have your own back, that you've got it's not even a plan B, because with this insurance policy, specifically for me, I'll just be getting the same thing, but a new version, right? One that works. And it's not even these headphones are usually faulty. They usually last me a good amount of time. It was just this specific time that they broke down quite quickly. It's been less than a month since I got these and they're not working. They're going in and out. It's very weird. It just keeps pausing my music. So anyways, I'm thinking, I think this applies to a bigger concept, right? So say you decided to try out love again. So you're back on dating apps or something like that. And you're talking to people and blah, blah, blah. This is not one of those situations where you are going back to an ex. This is for a bigger context. So let's say you stopped dating because it just wasn't working out. You just decided to focus on yourself, focus on your healing, whatever. Now you're back to dating. This time, and you're going back on dating apps, but you're I've got these rules in place this time. I've got these standards in place these times, these boundaries in place this time to make sure that I'm protected. So that as I'm being vulnerable and as I'm letting down my guard and opening up my heart up to the universe and to other people, I'm also making sure that there is a level of cushion and a level of protection around me to make sure that if someone tries me, or if I do get hurt, I have protected myself enough to the point where this won't destroy me, this won't break my soul, in reference to Beyonce's new song, right? And I feel like this insurance policy is your healing. I feel like this insurance policy is the time that you've taken out to work on yourself, to set boundaries. I think this insurance policy is learning the red flags. What are red flags for you? What are green flags for you? What are red flags that you notice in your own behavior when you're dating that make you realize, oh, this is not somebody I should be with? We all have them. Like, there are people that you get around and you just act different, right? Because you're just not being yourself, because they make you nervous, they intimidate you, there's something about the energy. Unless it challenges you in a good way, I would say those are like kryptonites, and those are people you need to stay away from, okay? This is not the time to be going backwards and to falling into old narratives where you forget yourself because you are mesmerized by this person that just has like a magical energy. There are just people who, put trances over people. And it's different for everyone. We might not be affected by the same people, or there might be the people who put trances over large groups of people, like Johnny Depp, and what's happened with this trial. Not to say how it goes either way. Look, I don't know, but I'm just saying he has a way with words and speaking. But yeah, I think that Spirit wanted me to come through with a quick little message and just be like, what's your insurance policy? Are you prepared? Are you protected? Because we're all entering like a new phase of being where we're trying new things and we are venturing into the unknown and taking leaps of faith. And you just want to make sure that you're not doing that without anything to break your fall, right? When the fool jumps off the cliff, he's not landing on a pile of fucking rocks. They're not landing on a pile of rocks, right? Hopefully they're landing in new territory, it's spiritual. Sometimes they're landing in a new country, but you're not falling to your death. And so we need to be particular about making sure that we have that spiritual protection and those spiritual boundaries, so that as you're venturing into the unknown and having these new experiences, you're not doing that with nothing to ensure your safety. Because we didn't just go through this huge hermit mode and this huge healing period just to be hurt and broken again because nobody set up boundaries, right? Your insurance policy are your boundaries, is your boundaries. Yeah. I have such a stuffy nose. Yeah. So I think that that's what came to mind. And I think that Spirit is saying that because he needs, first of all, if you're in a position where you have not began to set up that insurance, do it now. That's what you need to be focusing on. Before you get back into the world and doing your creative stuff or whatever, before you start dating again, before you decide to quit your job and move somewhere else, before you decide to talk to your friends about this and that, whatever you're doing, that's that new big thing for you, or a reinvestment, re-engaging with something, make sure you have your insurance. Make sure you have your boundaries. Make sure you have your protection, okay? We're not going into situations unprepared anymore. We know what that's like. And that doesn't mean that you're not open. It just means that you have boundaries. It just means that you're protected, right? We just want to protect ourselves. That's what we need to do. Boundaries. So, yeah, I think that's all Spirit wanted to say. Investing in yourself is important. Investing in your safety is important. And I think Spirit is saying this because, my headphones are breaking, right? I got that insurance and I wasn't even really sure I would need it. But even the guy who was selling it to me, he wasn't like, how sometimes store people can just be like, kind of playing you because that's just what their job is. He wasn't doing that. Like, he was being genuine, and I had to just trust him. So there is a kind of a leap of faith in trusting yourself, or the parts of yourself that want to build a boundary. or trusting that your gut's right, your intuition's right about needing to release this thing or protect yourself in this way, and investing the time to do that or the money to do that. Like I had to put the money up rather than just paying for the headphones alone. And I wasn't even for certain that I would need it, you know? I thought I was gonna use it actually on a pair that had broken before. So I wasn't even gonna use it on this pair. I was just like, I'm just gonna go get like another one for the pair that I already had that broke because I still had them. But thank goodness I didn't. And I mean, I guess it wouldn't have made a difference. But look at me now. This pair is broken. So it's good, and it broke the same way. So it's something that is consistent. It's something that consistently fails you. So I feel like Spirit's like, this is the last time. First of all, I feel like the insurance policy is like, for me, like I'm getting a new pair of headphones, but I think for you, it's like getting your energy back. Reclaiming your time, reclaiming your energy, reclaiming your space. So if you invested in something again, if you re-engaged, if you gave something a second shot and it's failed you again, this insurance policy is like your chance to reclaim yourself, reclaim your time. Here's an opportunity for you to, let's say you were dating someone and they broke your heart, and for some reason they came back during Mercury retrograde or during the shadow season of Mercury retrograde, and so now y'all are talking again, right? But you feel them about to break your heart again, or they've been giving you red flags. Like for me, these headphones were giving me red flags, and now they're full on giving I'm broken, you know? So you're listening to the red flags, you see that you're getting played. Okay, so now you've got this insurance policy, which is your intuition, your boundaries, your healing, which has caused you to now listen to yourself, which has caused you to have standards for yourself. So now you're taking out that insurance policy on this situation, and you're opening up a conversation with them and being like, and you're ending things and you're reclaiming your energy. You're canceling the soul contracts. You're finally fully and completely releasing them from your life, and you're never investing again. And that insurance policy is giving you back what you thought you had lost, what the time that you thought you had wasted, the energy you thought you had wasted. They're giving it back to you through a means of empowerment. For me and my headphones, I'm getting a new pair of headphones. And then when those are done, I just won't buy these headphones again, right? But for you, this insurance policy is giving you back your power. They're giving you back your voice. They're giving you back an opportunity to stand up for yourself that you didn't use the last time that you got your heart broken, or you got played, or your boundaries were overstepped. You see what I'm saying? So there's a situation that's gonna come up. I don't know if it's this week. I don't know if this is like a warning for the future and Spirit's telling you to prepare boundaries now, take out that insurance policy now. Honestly, it's probably different for everyone, but either way, now is a time to be aware of what you have to protect yourself. What's your cushion? What's your like rainy day fund, you know? What's your insurance? Do you have insurance? Some of you, it might be physical, it might be literal. Like, do you have insurance coverage? Do you have health care? Do you have car insurance? What do you have that protects you from a catastrophe? Because we're in super sensitive energy where not having anything to back you or anything to protect you from people trying to play you, it's not the time, especially because of all the growth that's happened. It just doesn't make sense. So, yeah. I think that that's just the message that Spirit wanted me to deliver. I just felt it coming on. And honestly, you might already be aware that this is about to happen because I felt my headphones breaking. Like, I felt it. I got warning signs a few days before it fully, like, before today, where I'm like, oh, okay, these headphones are like on their way out, you know? So you might get warning signs. It might just be a feeling. They might give you real red flags that you set up as red flags. That's your insurance policy coming in and being like, hey, boundaries, you know, new levels of awareness. Don't ignore them. Do not ignore them. Ignoring them would have been like, for me, in this metaphor, which is a real life example, ignoring them would have been like not getting insurance. Because now I'd just be out $30 with no, you know, I don't get a new pair of headphones. I'm just fucked, which would really suck. So, yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. I think that's really it. So I hope you enjoyed this short message. It was kind of random, but it was just like the spur of the moment type of thing. And now I'm done. I'm just going to go get my nephew, and we're going to go to the park and play for a little bit. And then I've got a work meeting, a union meeting actually. So there's another thing around protection, right? Making sure you have some type of backing. The insurance policy could also be opening up. Like, let's say it's like, you know how when women go on dates, they text like the license plate number to a friend, or they tell someone where they're going. You know, it's kind of like that. Or like if you're in a relationship and your partner's abusing you. I saw a TikTok about, you know, when guys are like, keep this between us in a relationship, and the woman was like, a partner who tells you to keep things between you. This isn't just, you know, women and men. Like, it could be roles reversed, all relationship types. But when a partner tells you that, it's because they don't want anyone to be able to hold them accountable. And it's true, you know. Don't keep your relationship woes to yourself if it's serious stuff, you know. Sometimes you need that outside validation that you're being mistreated. That, once again, is your insurance policy. And then another thing could be like, maybe you need to reassess what your insurance policies are. Is your insurance covering you enough, right? So this could be literal. Like, does your insurance cover enough? You might have a health scare and realize that your insurance would not have taken care of you if you had to go to the hospital or get the surgery or whatever. And then, so it's time to reevaluate. And that might affect multiple areas of your life. Maybe you need to get a new job because you need better insurance. You know, you need either more money to pay for better insurance, or you want a job that provides you insurance. It could be so many things, right? Or maybe you need to change your health plan because you can't be having all these scares with inadequate insurance. Or maybe you need to move because you should live in a country that provides you universal health care. You know, there's so many ways to understand how this would affect your life. But this could also be about reevaluating the insurance policies you have, reevaluating the boundaries that you have, and whether they're actually strong, stable, supportive boundaries. Whether your healing is enough. You know, have you done enough healing? Or have you kind of done like a slapstick job and then we're like, oh, I'm done, you know? Like, did you just acknowledge that you have a problem and then didn't take any steps to really work through it? You know? Did you just trim the tree and not dig at the roots and replant? And not even replant the seed, but did you fix the soil? Watch Queen's Cup's new reading. I can't believe I don't know her actual name. It's skipping my mind. Maybe I don't actually know her real name. But Queen's Cups. She also, I think, participates in Three of Cups. But anyways, the Queen's Cup, she does in this week's reading, she talks about like the soil and how a lot of people who have been doing their healing were working on the soil, which is also your insurance policy. What I'm finding, you guys, is that and I don't know if this is just for me, but I honestly think it's for everyone. I have been connecting, like the messages that I share have in one way or another, or just completely connected with another readers. Like, we are aligning telepathically, either that or I'm just finding my people, you know, and this comes with me feeling confident enough to share my own messages. But yeah, you guys, like, we are aligning. So everything that I'm saying on my page, I'm not gassing anything. Like, I really do feel a really great energy coming on, and I want to share it because I know there's a lot of scary energy in the world, and all of that is still very valid, but it's also important that we acknowledge that great things are happening too. It's just a matter of time and a matter of healing, and how quickly you get there depends on your insurance policies, depends on what you have to protect you, depends on what's cushioning the fall. Like if the fool is jumping off of that cliff, right? And they're jumping onto a bed of rocks, and even if they survive, the recovery time alone is enough to set them back who knows how long. And also trauma doesn't make you want to jump off a cliff again, right? Versus you come prepared. You're jumping off the cliff, and maybe there is a bed of rocks down there, but you put like 5,000 mattresses on top of the bed of rocks, so you're good. And then you attached a little ladder to the bed of rocks mattresses, so that way you land on the mattress, you climb down the ladder, you go about your business. And maybe it took a while to assemble all the mattresses and get the ladder and the placement correctly, and you had to do a lot of planning. But would you rather be disabled in all these different places for a few months, or would you rather spend that time, jump off, and be good to go? Whew. And yeah, I don't know if that was a great metaphor, but that's what came to mind. I think Spirit is asking two questions. For one half, I think she's saying, whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, however they identify in your mind, they don't have an identity, that's cool too. Spirit doesn't really have an identity for me either. But yeah, I think they're just saying that you want to make sure that either you have an insurance policy and you'll be ready to take that out, because if you're noticing red flags, don't ignore them. They're real, and you're gonna have to set a boundary with somebody using your healing, using the healing that you've done and that new self-awareness that you have. You're gonna have to put that to work for something that might be a little bit difficult, that might feel a loss, that might piss you off, that might make you sad, that might make you feel anxious. And you might question yourself a little bit, but ultimately it's going to become so clear, like a broken pair of headphones, that it's impossible to ignore and to try and gaslight yourself out of. And so you're gonna have to deal with it one way or the other, And you just wanna make sure that you have that insurance policy, so that if you do end up taking out or having to set that boundary, you're not doing that without any backing. Because imagine having to set a boundary but you don't know how to defend yourself right, or trying to set a boundary or trying to call out red flags, but you haven't gotten to a point where you've worked through why you constantly don't trust yourself, or you've worked through why you struggle to stand up for yourself. So you can't really set the boundary because you don't even feel like you deserve to have a boundary set, because you don't feel like they did anything wrong, because you don't feel like there's a problem when people disrespect you, because you think that you deserve to be hurt, because you don't think that you deserve love, right? Like, you've got to do that work. You've got to go back to the moments where that became solidified for you, and you've got to dig up the roots, and you've got to plant new soil. You've got to make the soil from scratch. You got to do it with your inner child and your inner teenager, your inner 20-year-old, your inner 20-something, your inner 30-something, however old you are. You've got to do it with all the parts of yourself now, present day. And you've got to leave room for that soil to keep evolving. That's a lot of work. So be prepared to invest. Be prepared to do the work. Or if you've already invested, be prepared to use your investment. You're about to see yourself. You're about to see the reason why you did all this work. You're about to get a clear life example of why it was important that you did this healing work. And I don't know if it's coming today, tomorrow, next week, next year, I don't know. But I think it's gonna come for whoever this message is meant for. And it might be meant for me as well, because my headphones are on the verge. So yeah, I just wanted to say that message, and that's it. So I'm gonna go now. Bye.